Back to the Sleeman Sports Complex in Brisbane, the voice Michael Chavello, the hammer Mark Castanini with you. And it's semi-main event time, the Brute Macfie.
Ladies and gentlemen, fight number 7 on our card tonight. This fight is for an interim world title. The winner of this fight is the mandatory challenger for the world title. To be contested over 5 3-minute rounds under full Thai rules. Please welcome our fighters. Fighting out of the blue corner from Thailand, Tirapong Jungle Gym. His opponent tonight at 69.5 kilos has had 118 professional fights, 81 wins. Fighting out of the K6 gym, he is the WMC Intercontinental Middleweight Champion. Please welcome Bruce the Preacher Macfie!
Australia's most experienced fighter, be it boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, mixed martial arts, you name it. And Bruce Macfie at 118 fights is the most experienced ringman in all the country. Here we go in our semi-main event. The interim world title on the line. Win this one and you are the #1 contender for the WMC middleweight strap. And how Bruce Macfie wants that strap around his waist. The purple-headed Brisbaneite, who is ripped, stripped and striated, has always more muscles than a seafood platter, taking on Tirapong from the Jungle Gym in Thailand.
Well, as Bruce Macfie has told his voice since his little expedition to the Contender Series in the Contender House, fighting and training alongside the likes of Yodson Clay and John Wayne Parr, it's really brought his confidence up.
Hammer, how good has Bruce Macfie been since he's come out of the Contender House? That's why I've renamed him Brute Macfie, because every time he has fought, since emerging from the Contender Series, he has been brutal.
Well, exactly right. And talking to obviously Bruce earlier and his trainer Dennis, they said he's been 6 weeks in training camp for this fight and just totally renewed focus. No more partying, no more late nights, no more being Bruce the party boy.
And that's saying something for Bruce Macfie, no more partying. You know he's dedicated when Bruce says no more drinking, no more parties.
No more partying, he's just focusing on the fight game now, and as I said, since the Contender experience, it's really changed him. And but I tell you what, up against a very formidable and crafty opponent in Tirapong, he's going to have to keep his guard up and keep his defences sharp, because Tirapong, as we've commentated him in many, many battlegrounds, he's been out on his feet, he's been out, down and out, and he's come back and absolutely cut up his opponents with elbows, knees, kicks, punches. He's a devastating fighter.
Just have a look at the physical difference between these two men. Tirapong, a very small middleweight. Bruce Macfie has always been a very big middleweight. Both of these men weighing in at 70 kilos, but you figure, having a look at Macfie in censoring, that he drank up and he ate up after the weigh-in, and he's probably sitting on about 73, 74 kilo here tonight, Hammer.
Bruce is renowned for that. He's probably one of the bigger middleweights you'll find come fight time. He wastes well, as in depletes his body well, doesn't do it too harshly, doesn't dehydrate too much, and then bang, as soon as weigh-in time's over, he's out and he's putting 3-4 kilos on easy. Another fighter that does it is John Wayne Parr.
Shane Chopper Chapman, another one, was renowned for it. Used to walk around at 84 kilos, Chopper Chapman, stripped back to 70, and then come fight time, he'd be around 75, 76. It was freaky what the likes of Chopper can do to their body, Hammer.
Tell you what, it can't be good for you, though, to dehydrate that much and then try and recover. It's not a good thing. Actually, talking to Noel Sharp of the Martial Arts Board, it's something that the board in Victoria, indeed, and maybe South Australia, are looking to change, where fighters may even have to weigh in on a regular basis so their weights do not fluctuate too much. So they've got to keep at a constant weight, because so much dehydrating and fluid loss is not good for your body in a combat sport.
Well, I know that I was over in Amsterdam with Cosmo Alexander, who we saw in an Evolution show in 2007 against Wayne Parr. And you know, Cosmo is almost 6 foot tall. He walks around about 82 kilos and then strips back to 70 as well, Hammer.
Amazing. Amazing how these guys can do it, I can tell you.
Second round set for 5 of our semi-main event. First round, we are giving it unofficially to the Preacher, Bruce Macfie, as once again the sharp Aussie just beating Tirapong to the punch here.
And this bout brought to us by Triple M, #1 radio station for fight sports, of course, Triple M, and big thank you to Graham Burke and all the Triple M crew, and the Village Roadshow guys as well, Nick Sims and John Jess.
The Spoon Man, Hammer. I love listening to the Spoon Man on Triple M every night. Nice crossing elbow from Bruce Macfie. High left round kick from Tirapong. Macfie goes downstairs. Tirapong, the southpaw fighter, meaning he is a left-handed fighter. The prime weapon against the southpaw fighter is, of course, the straight right hand.
Macfie really dominating here against Tirapong. Tirapong not really having a lot of impact with his kicks. Usually his kicks are what slow his opponents. Those right round kick to the ribs will certainly take their toll if they get through. But Tirapong is trying to unload, but it's just not working for him.
Macfie constantly on the front foot here, outworking Tirapong, and so far Tirapong has no answers.
Well, Macfie just keeping Tirapong in that kill range, right in the shot zone, right in front of him, and just unloading. Even though he's in front of him, he's still firing from angles, Macfie, and doing a very good job.
In control is the purple-headed preacher, Bruce Macfie. Got Tirapong in the corner, shoots out a right hand. Tirapong forced to cover up. Macfie just scoring on him. Inside thigh kick from Tirapong had no effect.
Just another sponsor we have to thank, of course. Vass is really one of the great sponsors of all the fight games. Vass, big thank you to Phil and Aaron Vasily. Check them out, vasstv.com.
High right round kick from Macfie, crossing elbow, tries to lock him up in the neutral corner. Double forearm guard against the round kick of Tirapong. Macfie in control here, Hammer. He is doing it easy, and he's doing it in style so far against Tirapong. If you're with Hanarong in the corner of Tirapong, what are you telling the Thai he should be doing at the moment?
Well, he's in front of Macfie. He's just standing there, and that is what happens. That's what happens when you stand in front of your opponent.
Shot to the liver.
And not only that, he was sitting on the ropes and just letting himself be shot upon by Macfie. Macfie was using the range well and just systematically putting the big shots on Tirapong. Again, Tirapong backs himself into the ropes and into the corner. He has to get into centre ring and use his lateral movement a lot more.
Oh, a Hammer. Tirapong in a whole lot of bother. He has taken more shots than an alcoholic. And once again, the Murph puts the count on. End of the round. The bell saves the tie. But Hammer here is taking an absolute flogging.
It's just a power. Even through the guard, Macfie's having some devastating capabilities, just chopping Tirapong apart, slicing and dicing through the kick a little bit over the head of Tirapong just to show him he means business.
Got the shots on you then. Okay, that woke you up.
Dennis Brett in the corner of Bruce Macfie as a lovely evolution. Dancing girls excite the crowd as if the fights weren't enough to do that.
Twos, but with power. Okay.
And a pretty flawless display so far from Bruce Macfie, competing in his 119th career fight. Here we go, third round of 5 and our semi-main event. Don't forget, folks, if you're surfing the web, well, outside thigh kick from Macfie again drops Tirapong. Hammer is just doing it easy here.
He is, and it's a strength.
It's all over, I think, this one, because Tirapong ain't moving. Macfie pumps his fist in the air. It's all over, Hammer.
He's not going to beat the count, Tirapong. Systematically sliced and diced by the Aussie Bruce the Preacher Macfie.
Hammer, is that a case of Macfie being too good, or did Tirapong really deserve a shot at the interim strap here tonight?
I think a little bit. Tirapong has probably seen his prime, I'd say.
Put your hands together for Bruce the Preacher Macfie.
The man with the purple hair, Australia's most experienced fighter, has done it again. Bruce Macfie by KO over another tie in Tirapong, and Macfie takes the interim world title strap. He is now the #1 challenger for the WMC middleweight world title, and well, he should be.